Today, I'm taking you on the most historical walk of Avebury to West Kennet Long Barrow, and it's a great walk. So come with me and we'll have a good time. Now, I know everybody's done West Kennet Long Barrow to death, really, but this is a fantastic route to walk and to see what's going on. And if I can give you a little bit of a feeling for that, it's quite a historic route. It's a route that probably ancient people may have taken, although none of us can say. And as I walk along this part of the track, the impressive thing is suddenly, there, you start to see Silbury Hill through the trees there. Absolutely impressive. The largest man-made mound in Europe. And there's hundreds of videos out there on that, but I'm not worried about that. The main thing is that you're enjoying the walk with me, and it's a walk in history. What a magnificent mound that is. And to think it's being so old and made by man, largest man-made mound in Europe, is absolutely incredible. But just forms part of the excitement on this trip. And towards the end of the walk, I shall be coming to a location where I get a fantastic image of Silbury Hill too. Better than this one. And at this stage, I'm looking down into the River Kennet, and I just cannot get over how dry that is. And you can look at the side of this bridge where I'm stood on. There's massive great saracens that are each side of the bridge, and down in the bottom there's stones everywhere. I wonder how many of those are significant. And by this section of river, I can't resist it. I'm going to get down in there and just have a look around, because how often do you get to walk in a dried up river? Looking around, and how often do we get an opportunity to do this? Truly amazing. Walking the bed of the river, we see a saracen stone there that looks quite a nice lump, doesn't it? We can see a slight meander in the river there. And then I shall walk on up this way a bit. Oh, another tree fungus there. If you can identify that, please let me know. And here, more saracens, and almost like a little dam here. And I'm just amazed that I'm walking in the river bed. Look at that. Like, almost like it could have been a crossing of some sort. I might be wrong, but amazing. And just plodding along here. Doesn't get much better than this, does it? Bit of a history explore. Walking along a riverbed. Well, that was a strange thing to do, but how often do you get a chance to walk in a dried up riverbed? Truly fantastic. Really hit my historical button, that one. Well, it always amazes me. We're going to leave Silbury Hill now and carry on to West Kennet Long Barrow, which everybody and their dog has done videos on for God knows how long. But I'm just going to give you an idea of it from a historical point of view. And it always amazes me with Silbury Hill. If we hadn't messed around with it, or archaeologists hadn't messed around with it years ago, you'd be able to climb up and down there, no problems. But today, no, we're not allowed to anymore. So carry on. Then just on the horizon, we've got West Kennet Long Barrow there. And we have to cross the busy road, which is the next dangerous part of our little adventure in history, but an essential part to actually get to West Kennet Long Barrow. And just cross the road, and the typical A3 sense of humour here. We've got Ryland Clark with a black tooth on there. Various van lifes and God knows what else stickers on there. Absolutely phenomenal. So there we are. That's the humour of Avebury, one could say. Left all the stickers and signs. Here we are. Another one absolutely packed full of them here. It's sort of humorous graffiti in a strange way, and I quite enjoy it. But there we are. And then a walk up this track here. You can't even see West Kennet Long Barrow at this stage. On towards West Kennet Long Barrow. Don't know if this is an ancient track. Probably not. The tracks could have come from all areas to it, but it's just fun to walk it. The track here, you can notice all the fields have flint in them. And quite a humorous thing is that on many occasions, you'll notice people looking at the flints in here. So it would be like finding a needle in a haystack, finding a worked flint in this field. And as you ascend the track, you're rewarded with extensive views. West Kennet. It's not the biggest long barrow in Britain. The biggest long barrow in Britain is Till's Head Old Ditch Barrow. But it's still an impressive long barrow. Nice to see. There's a lot of conjecture at the moment about how it was restored, and like it's so dramatic that it was restored. But the main thing is, it's still here. So we'll have a look at this Neolithic wonder and see what our feelings are on it. Faced with the stones at the front of it, and there's something that you don't think of when you come here, which I'll go into, but the stones are impressive if nothing else. And we'll go inside and have a look. And here we are. And some people consider it to be a sacred place, and I suppose it is in its own way, really, a sacred area. We can see all the chambers going off to the sides here. But important to remember, although it was restored, stones here still tell us a story, and these little chambers that we've got off on each of the sides here obviously were various stages of rotting people. So when they died, they put them in the front, and as they rotted down, they then put them in the back, and so the bones ended up in the back, this sort of chamber we're coming into here. So truly incredible to think that really it was just for bodies were stacked here and rotting in their own way. But lovely bit of stonework. Okay, we don't know if it's original, but it's just nice to come here and savour the environment. Very impressive, and it's just great to see. And we're fortunate to be able to walk inside this. And although it's not the largest long barrow in Britain, as Till's Head Old Ditch Barrows, this is the largest chambered long barrow in Britain. But I often have a thought to do with that. Oh, I nearly fell over. That we'll go into when we look at the outside. But these chambers are truly an impressive thing and great to see. Look at the last chamber. Well, it's not the last one actually, there's one more to go. That chamber there. And you've got to imagine them all with bones in them. Coming out towards the entrance. Back to the other two chambers here. And we can see there's like somebody's had a fire or something in there. It's like the walls burned. Or is that damp? I don't know. If you know, let me know. And the ceiling there looks quite damp. It's a bit strange. At the entrance, and then just look in the last chamber here. So truly fantastic.
We're just leaving the Long Barrow now, out through the Stone Cove, which would have been the celebratory entrance to it, and on at these steps, and onto the top of the Long Barrow. Extensive views over towards Silbury Hill. But one thing I've often wondered about with this Long Barrow is, you look at the part further on from where the chamber is, Was that ever chambered? It doesn't seem to have been, but if you know, please let me know, because it's something that I've always wondered about, and I think most people do on their visit to this Long Barrow. 5,500 years ago, this was used to house the dead, and that's all we can really say about it. But let's think about carrying on our little walk in history, I think.
Well, in a minute, I'm going to be approaching the Hill of Doom, as I call it. It's that go up over the hill and we link in with the avenue at Avebury. But the amazing thing about this is when we get up to the top of the hill, you get the best views, best non-drone views that you can get of Silbury Hill. Truly impressive. And just as you get to the top, you turn around and there is that spectacular non-drone view of Silbury Hill. Best view in Wiltshire of Silbury Hill. Absolutely phenomenal to see it like that. Go down the hill and then we're going to turn off left and go up to the avenue that goes in there. And I won't be saying too much about the avenue historically, because you can all look it up and find out more than I know at all. We then arrive at the avenue, and I'm going to walk up the avenue now on my way to Avebury. You walk up the avenue, as you do in a lot of places in Avebury, you see faces in stones, and this to me looks a bit like a face, a bit like a cod in a strange way when you look at a cod, and see the eye and the mouth there, quite different. Coming up to this stone here, this seems to have a face in it. You can see an obvious mouth there, which is quite interesting. Oh, we're having fun identifying all these things in stones, aren't we? To this one here, looks like a little rabbit there looking out. That's totally different as well, isn't it? So you can get some fun, some non-historical but good fun out of looking at these things. Looks like a back end of a silverback gorilla there, doesn't it? So like almost with his arm out to one side, a silverback gorilla. Amazing what you can see in these stones. All good fun. And here with this stone, it looks a bit like a dinosaur. Just look there at that angle. Velociraptor or something, I don't know. I'm not very good with dinosaurs, but that's what it looks like to me. Great fun. Well, I'm nearly down at the cafe now, ready for a bacon roll. Thank you so much for watching my small adventure in history. Found a lot of interesting stuff. So until the next time, wait for it. Goodbye.